Hello everyone. Well, I've got a bit of a rarity to show you in today's video. A bagged upright vacuum cleaner. Yes, that's right. This is a Zanuusi bagged upright cleaner, and we can see on the side of the box a gentleman and a lady riding a Vespa to show Zanussi's Italian roots. But of course this Zanussi isn't made in Italy, it's made in China, like the majority of things we buy today. But is it going to be any good? Well, for around £130, if you don't want a bagless upright, you can now buy a Zanuusi bagged cleaner. Okay, without any further ado, I'm going to take everything out of the box. There will be a little bit of assembly, and I'll give this a bit of a demonstration. Here's everything out of the box. We've got the cleaner itself, the handle, which obviously we need to attach. We've got a user manual, a spare dust bag. This is made of a material, it's not a paper dust bag. We've got a little dusting tool, dusting brush, a crevice tool, an extension wand, and with this pet model we also get an air-powered turbo brush. First thing we need to do is attach the handle. You'll find a screw taped to the handle itself, so I just need to remove the bag the screws in, and then we can assemble this machine. Just have to use some scissors, I think. Nearly there. There we are. So it's just a single screw, and you will need a Phillips screwdriver. To fit the handle to the cleaner, just insert it at the back of the machine, push it until it's flush with the rest of the body, and then into the lower hole insert the screw, and using the Phillips screwdriver tighten it. Don't over tighten it, just wait till you feel a bit of resistance. There we go. Now we can wrap the hose around the storage hooks. There's one at the bottom here and one at the top, and then this end of the hose fits into here. Just wrap the cable around both hooks, and it's a generous length of cable. The total reach of this cleaner is 10.4 meters, and there's also a handy little clip built into the plug so you can secure the cable together like this. The crevice tool nests inside the extension wand and then fits onto the cleaner here. The small brush tool stalls here. And finally, the pet turbo tool fits onto the back of the handle. Locate it first at the bottom and then push it forward until it clicks. So that's the Zanuusi AirSpeed Lite 2 pet upright vacuum cleaner, fully assembled and ready for use. We'll just first remove this swing ticket, which will give us the main features and functions. So this machine has a 700 watt motor, a 3.5 litre bag, a pet hair tool, a HEPA filter, a multi-floor selector, mini accessories, an LED brush lamp, and an action radius of 10.4 meters. At the base of the cleaner there's a 5-position height selector, so we've got low carpet, hard floor, medium carpet, high carpet, and what Zanussi call max carpet, so that's the highest setting. At the side of the cleaner here we've got the foot operated handle release pedal. Press it once to lower the machine to the operating position, and press it again to clean under low furniture. Just at the back of the machine you'll find the foot operated on off switch. At the base of the bag housing we've got an LED light to help illuminate dark areas, and behind this grille you'll find the washable HEPA exhaust filter. Halfway up the bag door you'll find the bag check indicator that will turn red when the bag's full or you have a blockage. To access the dust bag, simply pull here and the bag door comes away, revealing the fabric bag. Underneath the bag you'll find a pre-motor filter under this black grille. This filter is also washable. To access it you simply remove the black grille and then take out the sponge filter. If you do wash it, make sure it's dry before slotting it back into the machine. Make sure it's pushed all the way so it covers the motor inlet, and then you can slide back the black grille. Make sure that's in position, otherwise the bag door won't close properly. On the underside of the cleaner we've got a nice wide swept path with decent stiff brushes on the agitator. I think this is going to groom the carpet well and pick up pet hair. We've got an area here that's covered, that's where the belt is. You will need to replace the belt from time to time with this machine, but I'm pleased to say that the instructions supplied are very good. It tells you step by step how to change the belt. It will involve removing this yellow piece and slotting on a new belt, but it looks fairly easy to do if you're a novice. We've got two wheels here, and those wheels are the wheels that move up and down according to the height you've selected on the height control dial. Okay, it's time for the initial switch on. So first of all, you need to rotate the top hook to remove all the cable in one go, and then we can plug the cleaner in. You'll notice that the cable comes out of the cleaner at the bottom, and that could get in the way while you're vacuuming. You mustn't run over the cable with the vacuum, otherwise you could damage it. There is a little clip provided at the top that the cable fits into to keep it out of the way. I'm going to start the cleaner on the medium pile setting, but with experience you'll know what setting is best suited to your carpets. You might find a lower setting gives you better results, or if you've got plush dense pile carpet you might need to select a higher setting to make the cleaner easier to push. So I'm starting off, as I said, on medium. Let's give it a go. I can already tell this cleaner is very, very easy to push on medium. Too easy, in fact. I think I need to go down a notch onto, well, the next setting down is actually bare floor, so I'll try that. This is just fairly short pile man-made carpet. I think personally I'm going to go down to the low setting. It was grooming the carpet, but I felt it wasn't going deep enough. We'll try it again. Well, even on its lowest setting, this is pretty easy to push. You might remember a Goblin bagless cleaner I did a while ago on my channel that was virtually impossible to push without getting all my weight behind it. That was on a different type of carpet though. This is a standard carpet. I'll try this machine on a different pile of carpet as well. I've also got a thicker pile rug I can try it on in this demonstration. I'll also see how it cleans a floor as well. But first impressions, it seems pretty good. It's relatively quiet. It has to be under 80 decibels to meet EU regulations. And if you're looking for something light, this machine is very light. It's got a nice big handle at the front. That's going to be very easy for most people to carry upstairs and use. So if you know an elderly person or you find vacuuming yourself a bit difficult with a heavy upright cleaner, this possibly could be the one for you. It's also got a nice comfortable looped handle. This could even be used maybe by somebody in a wheelchair because the handle's enclosed. If you haven't got such a good grip, it might be suitable. It's so refreshing to find a bagged upright cleaner at a lower price point. You can buy bagged uprights in this country, but the main bagged upright I can think of is Sebo, which is more in the upper price bracket. There's another one as well, but I can't quite think of it. Which is it? Oh, Vorwerk, that's it. You'll have to remortgage your house if you want one of those German-made machines. But if you want something a little bit more affordable, you know, so far it seems pretty good. Now, one thing I will say, it will not reach up a standard flight of stairs because the hose is of the non-stretch variety. So yeah, it's not going to reach very far at all. But it's so very light, you could easily hold the machine by the handle, just have it resting on the stair below you while you're using the hose. I'll show that in this video, how easy I find it for stair cleaning. It's not as convenient to use, obviously, as a machine that will stretch right to the top of the stairs, but it's not bad at all. And I've just also noticed we even have a suction control built into the end of the hose, so you can reduce the suction for more delicate fabrics if you're cleaning curtains, etc. Let's have a look at the turbo nozzle. That can be fitted directly to the hose end, or of course you can fit it to the end of the extension wand. Before I start the demonstrations, I thought I would check the suction power at the end of the hose with an empty bag, and then at the end of the video, when I've finished the demonstrations and the bag is quite full, we'll check the suction power again to see how much suction it's lost. So I'll make sure that these holes are covered up, because obviously that opens up to reduce the suction. So that's closed. And we'll pop the suction gauge on the end and see how powerful the suction is. Well, the suction gauge peaked at around 68, which I don't think is bad for a 700 watt upright vacuum. I've put down a load of dirt on this very pale carpet, including some black sand, which will certainly show up if this cleaner can't remove it. There's some bits of fluff, as you can see. There's rice, there's bits of glitter. I've just emptied out another vacuum bag onto the carpet from the previous demo, so there we go. It's all rubbed in nicely. Let's see if this Zanuusi AirSpeed Lite 2 can actually clean up the mess. This Zanuusi has made a valiant effort after one forward and backward pass, but you can see what I call lines of shame. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 and a big one at the end here. This larger line of shame is caused by the belt guard, but these thinner lines are because on the underside of this Zanuusi they've got some bars going across the agitator. They partly help to strengthen the base of the machine, but they're also there to stop you sucking up any lightweight rugs or possibly an odd sock that's got caught under the bed. So a valiant effort, obviously. A couple more passes over this carpet and I should be able to remove all these lines of shame. Well, I must say, I'm pretty impressed with that result. Obviously, I had to overlap my strokes and go over a couple of times to get rid of the lines of shame, but I did put down an extreme amount of dirt. Most of the time when you vacuum your carpets, you see odd little bits of dirt, fluff, fibres, biscuit crumbs, the odd dog hair perhaps. You don't often see your carpet completely covered, so you can't see the original colour of the carpet. So I do extreme examples. So if it works at picking up an extreme amount of dirt, it should be fine in the average home. Okay, well, I've managed to harvest some hair from my Dachshund Daisy. She's almost bald now with the amount of hair I've been taking off her for vacuum demos, but I'm sure she's more comfortable without all this loose hair on her. So I've rubbed it in. I'm not going to clean all this up using the machine. I'll clean most of it up. I'll save a little bit and we'll try the mini pet tool as well. Okay, that should be enough. Well, I think the Zanuusi AirSpeed Lite 2 Pet did a reasonable job on picking up Daisy's hair from this carpet. Obviously you saw it needed a few passes. The small turbo nozzle is less successful. It definitely slows down when you're pushing the nozzle, but I find many air-powered nozzles like this do slow down when you actually put them on carpet or fabric. And, well, we can see here some of the hair has wrapped around. I just need to pick that off. It's gone right round there where the little tooth belt is located. I'm assuming, yes, we can actually take this one apart. So at least we can remove the entire front cover here. So it's easy enough to give access to the belt, and you can see where the hair's wrapped around the tooth belt there. But at least we don't need any tools. We can just take off the transparent cover and pick out any hairs. I'm going to test the Zanuusi on a hard floor now, so I've put down some dirt. Now, a lot of cleaners you can turn off the brush roll or slow the speed of the brush roll when cleaning a hard floor, but with this Zanuusi you can't. I'm going to use the hard floor setting. This is a cushion vinyl floor, so it should be okay, but if your floor is delicate, I wouldn't recommend using an upright cleaner with a revolving brush. You're better off sweeping the floor or using a straight suction cylinder. But I think I'll be okay, hopefully, with this. If I damage the floor, then that's going to be an expensive mistake. So let's see how well this Zanuusi copes, clearing up the mess on this hard floor. On its hard floor setting, the Zanuusi AirSpeed Lite has left quite a lot of dirt after 2 passes, so I'm going to lower the brush roll to the lowest setting. As I said, I wouldn't recommend that on a delicate floor, but on a hard wearing floor it should be okay. We'll see if it performs any better with the nozzle at its lowest setting. Well, as you can see, it's almost an entirely clean sweep on the lowest setting, but it was pulling at the floor. It was hard to push, and I wasn't very comfortable using this machine on this cushioned vinyl floor. It's got quite an aggressive brush roll. You can see it's done the job. There are a few little bits left, but I wouldn't continue to use this machine to pick all this mess up on this floor. I'll use it to pick up the worst of it on the bare floor setting, but I'll probably have to go over it a few times to remove this extreme amount of dirt. I'm going to stop cleaning the floor with this Zanuusi because I don't think it's doing the floor any good, and it's going to take me quite a while. Obviously I put down an extreme amount of dirt, and I expect in normal use this will be fine on most hard floors, but in my experience an upright cleaner with a revolving brush that you can't turn off or slower the speed isn't always very effective at cleaning hard floors. I've just finished cleaning this living room carpet with the AirSpeed Lite, and it was still easy to push on the low pile setting, although it was slightly harder to push than the carpet that I demonstrated on earlier in the video. One thing I forgot to mention, I showed you the suction control on the end of the hose, which obviously will work when you're using the hose, but the suction control will also work in upright mode. So if you're having trouble pushing this vacuum cleaner on a particular carpet, you can open up the vent to make it easier to push. So having a combination of a suction control and a height control means that this machine should be suitable for many different types of carpet. If you remember near the start of the video, I measured the suction power of this machine at the end of the hose with an empty bag, and it measured a respectable 68 on my suction gauge. So now that the bag is fairly full, we'll see how much suction has been lost. Well, surprisingly, I made that 68 as well, despite the fact that this bag is full. Now, I'm going to show you again without editing, just to prove I've not put a new bag in. Okay, I'll put the suction gauge on the end of the hose, try and get it into focus. Alright, can you see that? Let's move the cleaner a bit more forward. Okay, let's have a look. Yes, that seemed to measure 68. No editing. There is still a bag in there, and it's the bag with all the dirt in it. I can get it out. Right, that is a heavy bag full of dirt. You can probably see all the dirt in there. Again, it's got a little bit dirty on the inside of the bag housing, but as I said, nothing that you'd get with a bagless machine. And the filter, a little bit dirtier than it was when I first showed you. Can you see a few little specks there, but that's nothing. And as I've picked up a lot of dirt in one go, I would have expected this sort of result if you use this cleaner normally as you'd use any vacuum cleaner. Because most of the times when I vacuum, I don't see much dirt on the carpets, but I know they need a vacuum. I like to vacuum obviously to keep the carpets clean, to bring up the pile, but I'm not vacuuming tons and tons of dirt. When I normally use a vacuum cleaner, when I'm not demonstrating them for this channel, then of course I'm not putting down extra dirt. Right, am I putting this in the right way? Hang on folks. There we go, I was putting it in the wrong way. So no editing, more, it didn't lose suction despite the fact I've got a bit of dirt on the outside of the bag, but that might have happened when I took it out of the cleaner. That bag is full. Although there is still room in there, and I still will use this because there was no drop in suction. But I can use this for a few more times before I replace it. It was due to the bag clogging that made Mr. James Dyson look into bagless technology, but he was using a very old Hoover Junior with a single layered paper bag. And yes, that sort of machine did lose suction. I remember using older vacuum cleaners with single layered paper bags, and I did notice a drop in performance, but they were still picking up the dirt, and you could certainly tell a difference when he took out an old bag and put in a new one. Certainly the first few uses, it was certainly picking up more dirt, but they still cleaned with a full bag. With modern fleecy technology like this one, high filtration bags, they don't drop in suction anywhere near like the single walled paper bags did. So with new bag technology, you can't really make the claim anymore that bags lose suction. Certainly not decent fleece or material type bags. They tend to keep the suction going until they are full to the top. Well, that's about the end of my video on this Zanuusi AirSpeed Lite 2 pet bagged upright vacuum. It certainly is light with a nice comfortable carry handle. It is a bit heavier though since the start of the video, because obviously I've picked up quite a lot of dirt. I've said before that bagged upright cleaners in the UK are few and far between. There was the Hoover Enigma, which is a pretty bad machine. I've done a video on that. You can still buy that, but as far as I know, it's been discontinued. And of course, if you want to pay more, there's always the Cibo X series or the Cibo Felix. Both of those ranges I would recommend if you've got more money to spend. If you're on a tighter budget and you want something bagged and you've got mainly carpets in your home, then I think this Zanussi is well worth considering. Hard floor performance, not so good, so if you normally just sweep your hard floor, I don't think that's an issue. And it was okay on pet hair, especially using the main upright. Not so good using the mini turbo brush. It wouldn't reach up a standard flight of stairs with a flexible hose, but it's light enough to balance on a stair as you're cleaning. So if you want a cheap and pretty cheerful bagged upright vacuum, I would certainly have a look at this Zanussi. If you have any comments or questions about this cleaner, please comment below, and I'll see you all very soon for the next video. Bye for now.